Embu ni mmoja ya wale wanajua mambo ya kilimo, kwa sababu isipokuwa ni kilimo, Embu haingekuwa ina shine vile iko. Lakini kuna challenges ya mkulima wa majani. Mambo ya majani, mkulima na tajiri, mahali majani inauzwa, hapo katikati kuna shida nyingi sana. Na kama siku ya leo tunasherehekea mambo ya kilimo ya majani na mkulima asherekei, ni kitu moja aibu sana. Yes, mkulima unamwambia aende apande miti, unamwambia aende, unampatia fertilizer, unampatia kila kitu, lakini kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni anateseka. Na sisi ndio umesikia sisi committee ya Senate tumeenda Bomet, tumeenda Kirinyaga, tumeenda Embu, tumeenda kona zote pahali inakuswa mambo ya majani. Hata Kisii tunasema mpaka mkulima saa hii aweze kuangaliliwa, kwa sababu ile miaka ile ya zamani katika kila kona yote, unajua mkulima wa majani alikuwa tajiri. Unajua hata wale watu wanaongoza nchi yetu ya Kenya na wale professionals na walimu wote na wakubwa wote walikuwa nafunjwa na pesa ya majani. Lakini leo mkulima wa majani hawezi kupeleka mtoto yake shule, hawezi kupeleka, hata hawezi kujilipia hospitali, hata hawezi kupata hata chakula, ako na shida nyingi. Kwa hivyo niko hapa kutetea mkulima. Serikali ya Kenya Kwanza ni ya bottom up, kwa hivyo angaliwe ndio tuweze kuona ako namna gani. Hiyo ingine nataka county government, kwa sababu agriculture iko katika county government, ni devolved in government. Mkulima na watu ndio pesa yake isikulike nyingi. County na national government muangalie parapara pahali mkulima apeleka vitu zake ndio weze kutengenezwa vizuri. Hiyo ingine fertilizer apatiwe mapema. Mambo mingi ili ataka afanywe yote, na ikifika mambo ya kulipwa alipo mapema. Hiyo ingine kutoka mambo ya tunataka agriculture inataka mambo ya majani iwe kwa county, kama ni action hiyo inasemekana iko Mombasa, iwe ikifanywa kama inafanywa hapa, ndio mkulima ajui mambo yake ama majani yake imetoka pesa ngapi na aweze kupatiwa ile bei ile inafaa. Ukikumbuka miezi 3 kulikuwa mtu alikuwa amekuja hapa Embu akaanza kununua majani na tukakasirika, lakini tunataka mkulima aweze kupatiwa pesa yake na njia hiyo ingine inafaa.
I, having been a former member of parliament and very much involved in the process of bringing about the new Tea Act, I want to say that although certain reforms have taken place, there's still a lot that needs to be done. We still want to see more implementation of that act, and what is not working can be changed, but we do not want the gains so far achieved to be reversed. And so I want to appreciate the fact that in this forum, we have Honorable Mokonji as the area MP of a tea growing constituency. I want to appreciate that in this same forum, we have Honorable Daboen, who is also in the Agriculture Committee of the National Assembly. I want to appreciate that in this forum, we do have Senator Mondigi, who is the Vice Chair of Agriculture in the Senate. And therefore, we feel safe that the leaders from Embu County are in the positions where they can be able to defend us as the farmers. And I want to urge that you continue to support the farmers and the reforms that are taking place so that our farmers can get better earnings going forward. I know the president is very, very keen about those reforms. He has tasked the deputy president to lead in ensuring that the tea and coffee reforms do actually take place. Please let us support that initiative by the national government. And I want to promise from where I sit as a governor of Embu County will lead from the front in ensuring that tea reforms do actually take place and that our farmers are in a better position. I am extremely excited as we went around the exhibition to see the quality of tea that we are adding value to. I am amazed that there is actually white tea, there is yellow tea, and I'm happy to see that we can actually produce our own purple tea right here in Embu County. And I will give all the support necessary to you, the 3 factories. I'll push the agenda for you to get the resources so that you can be able to install the plants that will help you start to produce orthodox tea so that you can make more money for the farmers. But as Honorable Mokonji has cautioned us, and this is really to the KTDA chairman, Chairman would like that as you negotiate and look for how we get resources to have those plants that will help us produce the orthodox tea, that we don't go for expensive loans. And I am in total agreement with what Dr. Kiari has said here, that we can go PPP and reduce the cost on the farmer so that the farmer is not burdened with those machines. So please sit down, KTDA, sit down with the chairman, Tea Board of Kenya, try and think outside the box and see how we can still achieve that without necessarily overburdening the farmer with more loans. And I believe it is possible. I believe, KTDA, from where you sit, if you are able to do a good business plan, you can also get money from the World Bank at a paltry 2-3%. So you may as well also engage the national government in this conversation, because it is in our interest that we are able to make tea that is more marketable, that brings more money, but we also don't want to leave the farmer with more loans to pay.
Despite these successes, our tea industry still suffers some considerable challenges, which I will briefly outline. One is taxes and levies. Tea is one of the most taxed crops in the country today. There are up to 43 taxes levied on tea from point of production to the point of sale at our local shops. This means returns to the farmers. I wish to call upon Her Excellency the Governor to review these local levies, such as transport cesses, and through the Council of Governors to review the taxes on tea as a national product. The other challenge is the challenge of marketing of tea as a national product. Tea has not received an adequate marketing to increase sales. I wish to call on support from the county government through line ministry to play the leading role in the marketing of tea to reduce on the reliance on a traditional market. We should encourage our people to drink more tea so that the tea can gain more income. The other challenge is cost of energy. The high energy costs we are incurring currently in the factory are sustainable. Tea factories should be classified as industries to enjoy special power tariffs from the Kenya Power. We are also need support to venture into the renewable energy, such as hydropower, solar power, which reduce the cost of the factory's energy burden. Another menace is tea hawking, and especially from this region that we are. We urge the county government to enact laws to complement the existing national laws to effectively deal with the issue of tea hawking at the county level. The issue of load challenge, while we commend the county government for the good work they are doing to repair our roads within the county, must still to be done to ensure the tea growing areas in the county gets good motorable roads. When the roads are good, trucks are carrying tea to our factories and reach the destination faster, meaning the tea is still fresh. We minimize the cost of maintenance, and we are also able to maintain high quality prices tea. I wish to highlight one particular challenge that is not addressed with the agency. If not addressed with the agency, we will erode the gains so far made in this sector. The challenge of climate change will undoubtedly affect our ability to produce tea into the future. Changing the rainfall pattern poses a big threat to the livelihood of thousands of farmers in Kenya. For example, earlier this year, the country experienced an unprecedented drought that caused the drop in the tea about 60%. To mitigate the risk, factories are ready to work with the county government and other partners in the environment space to plant trees, allow the tea growing areas to conserve the ecosystem which support tea growing. Without this urgent activity, the economy of the country, which is anchored on agriculture, will suffer. As we venture into value addition, we ask the county government to work with this venture with us by allocating tea factory centralized industrial space to enable these ventures to thrive. Our priority remains to ensure tea farmers get fair pay for the work that they are doing. As we mark this International Day, as we celebrate this Tea International Day, we celebrate Kenya's prestigious position as the world's largest exporter of tea in the world. We are also the third largest country producer of tea in the world after China and India. We commit to sustain these global accolades. KTDA managed factories in this county are three, that is Mungania, Lukulili, Karangali Tea Factory, which cumulatively have about 32,300 farmers. In the last financial years, our small-scale holder tea farmers produce approximately 54 million from this region of tea, earning approximately 3.4 billion. This is no mean feat, as we continuously thank God for this climate that allows us to produce some of the world's best tea. Most tea produced here is Black City C type, that is most widely drunk in the world. As KTDA, we are working to improve the farmers' welfare through better prices at the market, provision of critical inputs as a fertilizer, offering extension services to farmers, and other valued support to the value chain. The tea factory in the country plan to venture into the three tea factories in this country plan to venture into the orthodox teas as a diversification measure to boost the farmers' income. We also wish to undertake the value addition by diversifying into flavored teas for local markets and export. I wish to urge the county and the national government to give our farm factories grant to help reduce the capital outlays which is required to undertake the orthodox plan. Each orthodox line costs around 100 million, so the three factories require about 300 million, apart from the infrastructure of the building that need to be undertaken.
And even to celebrate International Tea Day, it's good to know that here in Embu, we are proud of our farmers. We are proud of our leadership in all the factories in Embu because they have done us proud. If the three factories are being ranked top 10 in the whole Republic of Kenya where tea is grown, then what we need to do this afternoon is to appreciate the leadership of our KTDA members and board and all the directors in the three factories. Because if they are doing it well, then we are able to be ranked at the top. Makofi kwao. Number two, when we appreciate the leadership of Embu County, and especially the leadership of our factories, we also need to appreciate our farmers because they are the ones who go to the shambas, who go to the tea bushes to do what needs to be done for us to enjoy a cup of tea. And for that, because of the climate change. And the President of the Republic of Kenya has initiated a project where we need to plant about 15 billion trees before 2032. So in order to mitigate the climate change, our top leadership in our Embu County, the KTDA fraternity, guide us and lead us so that we can be able to achieve what needs to be achieved before 2032 by planting more trees. As I finish because of the interest of time, today as we celebrate the International Tea Day, how many cups of tea have you taken? There are people around here, Your Excellency, who will not get sleep before they take a cup of tea. They're already addicted. Some of us are teetotalers. So as we celebrate today, the International Tea Day, ensure you make the best cup of tea for yourself with the best aroma ever, so that even as we celebrate, you'll be part of the celebrations. Today being the International Tea Day, as I have said, that ensure you make yourself a good cup of tea. And even as we look at the issues around us as farmers, as tea farmers, personally, I am in the Committee of Agriculture in the National Assembly, and I want to talk to the board members and to the leadership of our factories, our tea factories, that if you have anything that you wish that needs to be discussed and attended to in the National Assembly, kindly talk to me. I'm in that committee, being a member, being a farmer is not enough. But doing what we are supposed to do is the very best. Let's take care of our tea bushes, let's take care of our tea, so that we can continually be ranked the best tea ever in the country. The board members told me about the subsidy of a fertilizer that they were promised, about 4.4 billion. And I want to confirm this to you that the next time we have a sitting with my committee through the chair, I'll raise this issue so that it can be handled from the committee point of view, then to the National Assembly, so that it can be fast-tracked.
What we want to do, we know what is supposed to be done. The question is, are we doing it or not? And that is the challenge I want to put to the leaders that lead this industry of ours. That tea should not be left and should not be used to enrich a few of us, whereas our farmers are languishing in poverty. And I say that because the few months I've been the member of parliament, and I've been doing a lot of research on what we can do on tea, I realize that every single document that I have read clearly says what is supposed to be done on this sector. I'm very happy that today we are talking about changing into specialty tea. I think that is where the money is. One of the challenges we have had is we have been people who give other countries raw materials. When we give other countries raw materials, they put some few things and package our tea and sell it back to us in a way that they buy very cheaply, but we buy it back at a very high price. The secret to our enriching our farmers is to ensure that we do value addition, and there is no secret about that. Other people that trade in the tea chain become the sayers, the movers, and the people who speak when it comes to tea. Farmers must be brought back to the central part of this discussion. I also welcome the move of removing the tax levied on railway tax that has increased the cost for our exportation of tea. I think that is also very important to appreciate. Thank you so much, His Excellency the President. I also want to appreciate the subsidization of the fertilizer that has come in handy for our farmers. Because the fact that we have reduced by half the cost of fertilizer, it has definitely increased the price and the bonuses that our farmers get. And let it be reflected in our next year budget, in our next year bonuses, when they are being given out by our friend, the KTDA. It is very important that whatever we are putting as effort, it should be brought back to the farmer as more money, so that we can also appreciate what the government is doing.
And the cost of production can only be managed if we agree there is a challenge in the cost of production, but we endeavor to work together. There are many partners that we can work with, and today I'll pose this as a challenge to the agent that we have mandated to operate this, and also to our county, so that we can endeavor to bring on board a concept that is being brought on board by the national government, the PPP, the public-private partnership, where we can bring on board individual companies, individual factories, individual investors who can invest in energy and help our factories reduce the cost of production. We cannot basically reduce the cost of production individually, but we need to work together. Today we talk about value addition, and that is the order of the day. I'm a value chain expert, and I know the cost of value chain is something that we cannot run away from. However, I also call for a PPP approach, other than individual approach of basically our factories, so that we can be able even to reduce the cost of installation of probably the orthodox lines. Because if we work together with other investors we can bring on board, we can reduce. Basically, I heard the chair saying it's going up to 100 million. I think when we bring on board PPP, we can be able to reduce that to a manageable level to even 40 or 30 millions by working together with other stakeholders in this industry. There are many ways of managing our sector, because the main thing that we want to do at the end of it all is to take the coin back to the farmer, who is the source of raw material. What we need to understand today is that if we lack the raw material, we have nothing to sell. If we don't make the farmer enjoy, we have nothing to sell as well. So the chain must work well, and the value and the supply chain must be complete from upstream to downstream. And that concept must be adopted from us, the regulator, to the agent that we have mandated to sell our tea on behalf of our factories, to the factories themselves. And as the regulator, as we move forward towards achieving this, we have many challenges that we are going through. A number of them cutting across the implementation of the Tea Act. But we say here today, because this is an international day, that we are proud that we are producing the best tea, but we are not very proud that we don't consume the same tea. Because we export more, around 91%, but we consume around 9%. It's only now that we are up to 10% consumption, local consumption. So if today we work towards improving the local consumption, again, we shall say we shall improve the revenue. So
yes, this is Michael Orangi, the Country Director for Rainforest Alliance, Kenya and Tanzania. And we are really happy and proud that we are part of the sponsors of this event and collaborating with the Tea Board of Kenya and all the industry players. As Rainforest Alliance, we desire a world where nature and people thrive in harmony. So as we produce our tea, we also want to ensure that we continue producing the tea sustainably, even for future generations. And we are happy that you all honored to come and celebrate with us this International Tea Day. And blessings to all the tea industry players as we celebrate and thank God for this far, and also synergize and come together to see how we can join our hands to make the tea sector better going forward. Thank you so much.
The future for Black City City, according to FAO, IGG projection, is not that so good. So as an Institute of Tea Research, what we're doing is to ensure that we roll out technologies and innovations that will inject many more specialties to the extent between the next 5 to 10 years. We want to see the Black City C coming from Kenya reduced by 30% and the same replaced by orthodox teas and other specialty teas, including tea-fortified and non-tea-fortified food products that include the tea beers and tea wines. So for those who are not able to do away with alcohol, we shall have products that are safer for you and for our families. So that is what we are doing, and we are working with the farmers. The other thing that we are doing is to avail solutions to climate change by ensuring that going forward, we shall be practicing low to neutral carbon tea cultivation. Our young girls here have talked about trees. We're also looking at how tea will grow with trees and give us better environment for tea cultivation and as well as maintenance of our environment.